Hi, guys. Happy January and welcome to our Getting Started Right call. For those of you who don't know me, I am Amy Arner. I'm the CEO of Team Sweaty Lovely Life. And I am so excited to be able to do this video for you guys tonight. So I am going to break it down. I'm going to go through all of the things that you need to know to be a successful Beachbody coach. Okay, so I'm going to get right into it and I'm going to share my screen. All right, so like I said, welcome to our lovely life tribe. Tonight we're going to talk about all the things that you need to know. But the first thing that we need to start with is why you're here. Why do you want this? I know this sounds like such a big and vague question, but you need to really know why you're here. And I'll tell you, just to help you guys give a little background, why when I first started. The thing about your why is that it's going to grow and it's going to evolve and it's going to change, just like we grow, evolve, and change, right? This is what this business is all about. We're constantly working on ourselves. But my initial why for why I wanted to work this business stemmed from very small, simple things. I wanted to be able to pay for my products, right? I wanted to be able to get my products paid for. I was in love with my Shakeology. I loved the community. I loved how it made me feel. I loved the changes I noticed in my health and just my overall wellness. So I was intrigued, one, for the reason of the fact that I wanted to get my products paid for, right? That was a part of my why for why I wanted to start coaching. Another big part of my why was I really have always struggled financially. I've always been in some sort of debt, pretty much ever since I was in college. I ended up accruing well over $10,000 of credit card debt between the end of my college career and the first few years that I worked as a registered nurse. So even though I worked full time already as a registered nurse, I was always living paycheck to paycheck. I was constantly strapped every single 2 weeks whenever I got paid, and it felt like my money was constantly just gone before I even had any time to figure out what I wanted to do with it. Between my student loan debt, my credit card debt, all of my other bills, I was very financially stressed out. It was one of the biggest stressors in my life. And at the time when I really needed this community the most was the year about the year before I ended up getting engaged. So right about the month before I started coaching, I actually got engaged a month later. So little did I know just how badly I was going to need coaching in order to help myself get out of that financial hole that I was in. Any little bit of extra income at the time was going to be huge for me to be able to put aside, more of my paychecks towards my credit card to be able to start paying those off before, being able to afford paying payments for our wedding before we got married. So that was another part of my why. The other part of my why is the fact that I have always felt a bit of a loner. I've always been that girl that kind of was a follower, the friend that everyone kind of came to for advice, that everyone seemed to think always had it all together, but I really didn't. I was struggling, and I struggled for a very, very long time. And I battled a lot of guilt and shame over feeling like I didn't have it all together when everything on paper I had. I had the job, I had the career, I had the boyfriend, I had the house, I had the dogs, I had all of the things, and yet I still wasn't happy, right? That's when I truly knew that in my core, I needed to focus on me. And if I felt that way, then how many other people out there could feel like me too, right? That is what the question that constantly riddled my brain ever since I joined this community. I realized what an impact it was making in my life and how much I needed personal development, how much I needed community, how much I needed these programs, the flexibility, how much I needed Shakeology and, guides for, nutrition. That is what really kind of sparked the fire for me, realizing that I could pay this forward. And in the process of paying this forward, I might be able to also make my life, a little bit easier, a little bit better, right? In the process of me already focusing on me. So that is what I want you guys to ask yourself is why you're here, right? Get really clear on the reasons why you want to coach. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to start with square one, right? If you're here, you got a new coach info email, right? So in that email, the first thing I want you to do, and if you haven't done it already, is I want you to go watch the different kinds of coaches video. In that video, it breaks it down. Difference between a discount coach, from a hobby coach, from a business builder to a running coach, okay? For me, I started out totally, I signed up as a discount coach. When I first started coaching, you could definitely call me a hobby coach, right? I was committed to learning and being, doing all the things I needed to do, but I wasn't really like at the level of which I was working. And I was, in the beginning, looking back, I was more of a hobby coach. Okay. Now, I'd say for the last year and a half, I'm what you would call a business builder / runner. Okay. I have big goals for this business. It is, something that I have really huge dreams and visions for. And so I am very much all in doing whatever it takes in order to grow it, learn, become the best leader I can be. Okay. So go back and I want you to watch that video, because you guys, we all start at different places, right? I don't want you to compare where you are and the kind of coach you want to be to me, right? Because like I said, just like we are ever growing, evolving beings, same thing about your why, same thing for, what you really are going to want out of coaching. My whys in the beginning were quite small, right? I wanted to pay off my credit card debt. I wanted to focus on me and be more accountable. And I wanted to honestly just make a difference, right? I wanted to feel like I was making more of a difference than what I was doing in my day-to-day nursing job. But, 6 months, 10 months later, that why grew bigger, right? It grew bigger and it grew into something more. I wanted to be able to, go part-time per diem with my nursing job. I wanted to be able to afford to buy our first house. I wanted to be able to, be really like do this like full time, right? So that was a much bigger why. So that's why it's so important that we get clear and you are able to communicate what kind of coach you want to be right here from the get-go, because that's what's going to help your upline coach really help mentor you at the pace in which that you want to build this business. Okay. So once you know that, I want you to start going through the new coach units. Okay. The new coach basics. So those are in our team page. Actually, no, they're in the Beachbody Champions page under the units tab. So Beachbody Champions page on Facebook, if you go there, follow the page, on the left-hand margin, you'll see the units tab. In that units is literally all you need to know about being a new coach. From every top leader in the company, there is a different type of training, from growing, how to post on social media, how to invite, how to run a challenge group, all to like basically like how to hit diamond and stuff like that. Okay. So I want you to start there. Okay. And then I want you to start getting familiar with ShareCart. Again, there's videos on that in the new coach basics tab. And then I want you to start getting familiar with your coach online office. Okay. So we all know about teambeachbody.com, but when you also become a coach, you get access to what's called an online office. And you guys literally, like Beachbody, it's so incredible. Like Beachbody literally like lays it all out for you. It keeps track of all your challengers, all your customers, all your coaches. It helps you control everything, a little bit of detail about your business, right? It's all in one place, and it's in what's called your coach online office. So if you go to coach.teambeachbody.com, you'll be able to log in to your coach online office, and you'll really start to be able to see, play around in there, get familiar with it, see what resources are available to you. There's challenge group guides, all sorts of things. Again, any questions you have, please ask in the team page and or to your upline coach, any questions you have about that. Then I want you to schedule in team calls. Okay, so no matter what kind of coach you are, hobby coach or otherwise, it's important that you are on and or watching the recording of team calls. Especially like as a discount coach, you don't need to be on team calls, but as a hobby coach or more, if you want to at least get your Shakeology paid for every month, aka you're helping at least 3 people each month, then you need to be on team calls. Team calls are honestly like one of my favorite parts about coaching. It's, once a week, every Monday night at 8 p.m., we get on a Zoom call and I lead a training, or we have a guest speaker, like another coach in the network, come on and lead a training. So basically, it's all for you. It's all for us to get together in community and to be as a team, but it's also for you to be able to learn how to be the most successful and best coach that you can. So schedule those in 8 p.m. Eastern every Monday night, but also make sure in the team page you've set the notifications to all. So you see when I post in there, you see when I post the recordings, you see the things that I'm sharing, because if I'm sharing in there, it's for a reason. It's for something that I want you to see, okay? So then I want you to also mark your calendar for the next event, okay? So the next event for us in this first quarter of the year is Super Saturday. Super Weekend, Super Saturday, they're held every quarter of the year. So the first one is this coming weekend, actually, January 11th. And they're held all over the country, okay? So you guys, this is a huge deal. Live events are amazing and they are life-changing. My first event ever was a Super Saturday here in Rochester 2 Januaries ago now. January 2017, I went to my first Super Saturday event, scared shitless, and didn't know a soul, didn't know anyone in the Rochester area that was a coach. I didn't even know honestly how big Beachbody coaching really was, or that anybody alone did it. I really honestly felt so scared to go. I had to force myself in my car, just force myself to just go up there and do it. So I went all by my lonesome, but you guys, that event changed everything for me. That literally changed the trajectory of my coaching career. It turned me from a hobby coach into a actual business building coach. Because going to that event, again, surrounded me with other women. It surrounded me with other women that were doing this too. It helped me to see myself in their story. I saw other nurses. I saw other newly engaged, people that were working this business and working for similar goals of like mine, had similar whys or even bigger whys, which allowed me to dream bigger. It allowed me to see the potential of this business and my own potential if I was willing to dream bigger and work harder. So put that on your calendar. If you live somewhere, wherever you live, I highly encourage you to, put on your big girl pants and just go. Grab a friend, grab a family member. If you know someone in the, community that also coaches wherever you are, then I would grab them and I would go with them. If they can't go with you, then go by yourself. Honestly, the friendliest people are Beachbody coaches. Okay. That first event, I didn't know anyone. You guys, so many people just came up to me and started making conversation and asking questions, getting to know me. And it made me feel so at home. Okay. And then obviously it's so much fun. There's usually super trainers or some sort of trainer there or guest speaker. Depending on where you live, it might be a really big guest speaker, or it might be a really big super trainer like Autumn or Joel or whoever. And there's a live workout at the end. So super fun and a great way to just get in your Saturday workout. All right. So we talked about team calls, so I'll skip over that. But the other thing to know about is our national wake-up call. That is basically Beachbody's weekly conference call. It's nationwide, takes place at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So for us East Coasters, that's 11 a.m. And it's very likely you won't be able to make this live unless you are a nurse and you randomly have the day off on a Monday. You might be able to catch it. For me, the first 2 years of my business, I was not able to catch them live, except maybe once in a while. So I always listen to the recording. You can listen to the recording on the Team Beachbody Coach podcast app. So if you go into your podcast, if you have an iPhone, you can, subscribe to the Beachbody Coach podcast. That's literally where they just upload the team call recordings. And that's part of how I grew my business. Again, this is literally, Beachbody goes on every week. They give you all the up-to-date news, announcements. They do recognition. If you've hit diamond or above in your business, you'll get shouted out and recognized there. But every week they always interview a new coach, from a newer, successful coach to a veteran, elite coach and beyond. Every time a new program launches, they always interview the new super trainer. It's just an incredible resource. When I first started coaching, one of the things I did in my spare time was I went back and I listened to all the old National Wake Up Calls using that Beachbody podcast app. When I was driving, cooking in the kitchen, whatever, like if I was alone in the house or I was, on the road, I was listening to either an old team call or I was listening to the National Wake Up Call. So another huge source of knowledge. The other thing is that for new coaches, we do our calls on Wednesdays. So here it is, Wednesday night. We're doing the first Wednesday of the month. We're doing our Getting Started Right call. Next Wednesday, the second Wednesday of the month, we will do our Push to Emerald call. And then other power hours or any other kind of call that's not a team call typically is held on Wednesday night. Okay, so any other additional call other than the Getting Started Right call, Emerald call, will be announced and are to be determined. Okay, so when you see their power hours, those are all, sometimes we do them, we don't do them all the time, so don't get stressed out thinking that you need to be available every Wednesday. And once you are through this new coach training, your first month working as a working coach, you do not need to be showing up on our new coach calls, but it is good to know for you to pass on to any potential clients of yours that are interested in coaching, so you can know when the calls take place. All right, and then every Saturday, if you are local, we do a local team workout. So everyone comes over to my house, or in the warmer months, we meet up somewhere local at a local park or something. We do a workout. Most of the time, we will Zoom it. Don't always remember to Zoom it. So it's another just fun thing that we get to do as a team. But wherever you are, feel free to do this yourself, right? Feel free to get friends to come over and work out with you on the weekend, right? I know not everyone's off on a Saturday, and it's definitely not the same people that show up every week, but it's such a great way to build community. It's such a great way to really build that one-on-one connection with people outside of social media, outside of the internet, right? And really get to know people and have fun. Okay, so the formula for success. Okay, this is it, you guys. Be a sponge, all right? When I say be a sponge, I mean like absorb everything, all right? It is so normal to feel overwhelmed in the beginning because there's so much out there. But what I really want, like my goal is to really help narrow that down for you, but also to make you understand that the best thing you can do is pretend like you're back in college, right? Pretend like you're back in school and you're learning like a new hobby. You have to be a sponge and you just have to ask questions, right? If you don't know something, you don't understand something, ask questions, okay? Ask questions in our team page, ask questions to your upline. If you are in a new coach pod, ask questions there and be resourceful. So if don't stay silent if you don't know something. Don't stay silent if you don't understand something. If you have someone coming to you that wants more info and you're like a deer in headlights and you forgot what to say or where to go to look for certain things, that's when you need to speak up or you need to go seek answers, okay? So if you want answers, seek them, right? Go Google, go, check into our team page, post it in the team page. If you're in that new group, a new coach chat, post in the new coach chat, your new coach workshop. But then when in doubt, guys, always YouTube or Google, okay? I swear to God, I have built this business on YouTube and Google because anything I needed to know, I could find on YouTube, right? There is if you have a question on how to, do anything, guarantee if it's not on the Beachbody Champions page, there is a training created by someone on YouTube, okay? And then if you still can't figure it out, text your coach, right? Text your upline coach. All right, so we got through the nitty-gritty, we got through a lot of the housekeeping. We talked about what it takes, like what I expect from you as a new coach. Basically, Know that it's normal to feel overwhelmed. Know that it's normal to be scared. Know that it's normal, to not have the answers. But you guys, you are a coach, and that is an amazing thing. You are already 2-3 steps ahead of the people that are watching you right now, the people in your life, because you said yes, you started your journey, and now you already are seeing the benefits of that, and you're starting to pay that forward. You've said yes to paying that forward. That means that you are already leagues ahead of other people, right? So feel empowered by that, right? And I want you to take that empowerment, take that excitement, take that belief that you've built to get to this point, and I want you to go out and I want you to share with people what you're doing, okay? It's not about perfection. It's not about having the perfect words or, the perfect photo or whatever. Obviously, aesthetics is pleasing, right? But that's all stuff that you will learn, you will get better at over time, right? Like nothing's good. First draft is never good, right? When you write a paper, the first draft is rarely ever a good, like without edits, right? So that's why we do this. Why we learn through doing. This is a business where you take action and you learn along the way. So you really can't go wrong with the first post. So this is why I gave you some examples. Some examples of coaches of ours that have done, this is like what they did for our first post, okay? So on the left here, you see, like what you can't see is the picture that she showed, so I apologize for that. But basically, I had a coach, that joined. It wasn't my personally sponsored coach. She joined under another coach of mine. But she basically took the picture. Her and this girl, her coach had been friends for 10 years. She took a picture with her and a picture of them, from long ago. And she basically told the story of their friendship. And now, however many years later, like here she is and they're on this journey together, right? And she ended it with a call to action. If you're looking for this type of accountability, drop an emoji or send us a DM and I will let you know, and we'll let you know what we have been working on lately. So very short, very sweet, very them, very her. You can tell like she wasn't, it's not perfect, her algebra, like, or whatever, like, she doesn't have periods and there's really no perfection here, okay? And then you look to the right, again, much more tailored. She started it with a quote, something that she picked up from her personal development book. And she shared how that quote from her book basically expresses how she's felt about her journey, how she's felt over the last few years, leading up to this point where she started to focus on herself. And why that then led her, she shared how she made the decision recently to start focusing on herself again and how she's now trying to look for others that are on the same, wanting to do the same thing. Okay, again, ended it with a short call to action. Are you ready? You can get a little bit more specific. Are you ready? Like, I like, vague call to actions like this because again is more like a call to think. It gets people thinking, asking themselves like, man, like, could I see myself doing this too? And then anybody who likes these posts, you guys, anyone who engages with these posts, those would be who I would invite, okay? So from now on, anyone, game on, anyone who likes, comments any of your posts or views any of your stories from here on out, those are people in your place of business. Now start to think of your social media as your business, okay? And that people, if they're watching, then they're curious in some way, shape, or form. They might tell you they're not, that's fine, right? But a lot of us know that we started out saying no, right? We said no for the first couple times, maybe a million times before we finally said yes. So just be patient, but also be persistent. Don't insert a no. You have to ask everyone, okay? Because you really can't ever know what someone's really going through. Like I shared with my story in the beginning, everyone thought I had it all together, but I didn't, right? Just because I looked the part doesn't mean that I had it all together, and I needed this desperately, but it wasn't until someone had the guts to ask me, right, to invite me, that I really started to be able to find out that there was a solution out there for me, okay? All right, so 4 vitals. These are your Bible, okay? If you're in our new coach workshop, you will hear these. If you haven't yet, then the videos are on my YouTube. please go watch them. The 4 vital behaviors are, first and foremost, focus on yourself, okay? You are here because you wanted to make a change in your own life, and that is where it starts and ends always, right? Your number one job is to become your best self, right? Focus on your workouts, your PD, drinking your shake, leaning into your insecurities, focusing on your nutrition, your working on your limiting beliefs and your struggles, right? That is our job, literally. Like, my job is to literally focus on myself every single day, right? Focus on becoming my best self every single day. And what a freaking privilege that is. When I was working as a nurse, myself was the last thing that was thought about, right? Taking care of others was always the priority. In the end, who got neglected? Me, right? So this is one of the best lessons that coaching teaches us, and why we're so gifted and why we should view this as a gift, is because being a part of a community like this shows you that we are all in charge of our own life. We are all in charge of our own happiness, right? It's no one else's job to make us do the work to, feel happy, right? We have to take responsibility. We have to hold ourselves accountable and put ourselves in a position for success, right? So saying yes, being a part of this community are all steps and parts of that. The second thing is you need to share. You need to share. All right. So one of the things you'll learn in new coach training and in your new coach units is the importance of sharing on social media. Like, guys, if you don't share it, people don't know you're doing it. If you don't share it, people aren't going to trust you. No one wants to see a transformation photo come 30 days from now and with no wherewithal or being able to see at all of how you got there, right? People need to see that you're a human. They need to see your life and be able to see themselves through your eyes, right? So why do a lot of us, we're friends with who we're friends with, and or we creep on who we creep on? We've all done it. We have to admit that. We do that because it's like reality TV, right? We're interested in their life. That's why we share on social media, right? I share on social media because I want to share my story. I want to share my day-to-day journey, my day-to-day life, what makes me me, because by doing that, I'm hoping to attract the other Amy's of the world, right? I want the other Amy's that are where I was at before I started. I want the other Amy's that are maybe, in the middle, like where I was also at like a year ago, and the Amy's that are where I am now, right? And maybe the Amy's that are thinking about where I want to go, right, can relate to where I'm working towards for the future. That's why I share, okay? So you need to share your journey. So posting daily, once a day on social media, your Instagram, Facebook, but also being on your stories, right? Talking, sharing clips of your day-to-day life, maybe clips of your workout, sharing, you walking your dog or whatever, like share your normal life, right? Get on there once a day maybe, and just like talk to people, like talk about something random, talk about your program and how it's making you feel. Don't overthink it, right? Again, this is something you just get better at. Everyone's scared shitless before they go on their stories for the first time. And then it just becomes like a walk in the park, right? It's cake over time. And invite everyone. People watching your stories are, again, people that you need to be inviting. Because if they're watching your stories daily, then again, they're intrigued. They're invested in you. They're invested in your journey. And then personal development, obviously, so important. It is literally key, you guys. If you are struggling in your business, guarantee I'm going to come at you and I'm going to ask you, one, are you focusing on yourself? How are you doing with your own, journey? But two, I'm going to ask you if you're, listening to personal development, because guaranteed every time that I have struggled in my business, it's because one, I wasn't listening to enough personal development, or I was slacking on it. I'm human too. Or I wasn't listening to the right personal development, okay? We all, we get to these points, it happens. The most important thing that you can do as a coach is, again, be resourceful, and be willing to reflect, okay? Be willing to look in the mirror and say, hey, I'm not where I'm at, I want to be, I screwed up or whatever, I forgive myself. Okay, what am I going to do to fix it, right? So personal development, huge. If you need any recommendations on this, we talk about this all the time. Again, ask your coach, but also oftentimes what I do is I Google things pertaining to different topics that I know that I struggle with. 4, get results, okay? Nothing speaks louder than results, okay? So you need to focus on getting results for yourself, okay? That's why number 1 is focus on you. The other thing you will do in the process of doing that is you will likely also inspire the people that join you or the people watching you to get results for themselves, right? They will see through what you're doing how it's possible. They will see through what you're doing what they need to be doing too, right? They'll see, oh, she's following this program. She's doing it every day. Oh, she's meal prepping and she's, focusing on portioning and she's, not eating food with a lot of crap in it or preservatives or whatever. Like, oh, she's drinking this shake every day. Oh, okay. And like they start to see like what you're actually doing and being able to understand how it is that you're getting these results, okay? And then it's rinse and repeat, right? And I don't want you to think that all results are physical, okay? I can, again, personal story here. I did not have a physical transformation for a very long time. When I started this, I was probably at one of the lowest weights that I've been at in my adult life. I was coming off of just running a marathon. I was very thin, had very little muscle tone. And that was a huge part of why I wanted this. But I also, I speak to why I joined, in part, obviously that, but the huge reasons why I was attracted to this was more for the nutrition aspect and the mindset aspect, right? I very badly needed help with my mindset, my body image, right? And I needed help with my nutrition. Those were the 2 things that were holding me back and have always held me back from really truly being happy in both my physical journey, but also just my overall happiness with myself. So whatever it is that drew you to Beachbody, that is what you should share, right? You need to focus on that because it's likely that other people, like, don't speak to what's not you. You don't have to have a physical transformation. You don't have to lose 20 to 30 pounds. I've gained 20 pounds since I started, but that's my transformation. There's other people like me, other runners, other people that have struggled with, the scale and, struggled with being thin their whole life. And that is sort of who I'm speaking to, the person that's always desired being thin over being healthy. All right. So sharing your journey, like we talked about, you are a coach. Yes, you are. That is now a part of what you are, right? That's a part of how you can describe yourself. I am a Beachbody coach, but it's not all that you do, right? Just because you said yes to coaching doesn't mean now when I go to social media that all I see is Beachbody, right? Sweaty selfies, physical transformations. No, that's not what this is, right? This is just a part of your life now, okay? So keep sharing all aspects of your journey. I know some people weren't active on social media before they started coaching. I was there too. That wasn't me. I was maybe a once in a blue moon sharing a picture of me and my boyfriend or my dogs or something like that, or a nature panorama, right? But that's the thing. Those were things that I was sharing about before, and I continued to share things like that. Once I started coaching, I just started sharing more, and I started sharing more about, the wellness journey I was on. I started sharing more about my nursing career. I started sharing more about the things that were honestly triggering me at that point. I started sharing about my wedding planning, about my relationship, things like that. That's what I started to share more of, in addition to also sharing my physical and wellness journey. All right, so your first 30 days as a coach, get 3 people to start their journey with you, right? That's what I want you to focus on. So your first 30 days, your first month as a coach, our goal is to help you help 3 people get set up with exactly what you got set up with, right? So if you're here, it's likely you got started with a challenge pack, right? So you got set up with the workouts, you got set up with a month of the Shakeology and or the pre and post workout, and you got plugged into our challenge group. That's it, right? So go back. I encourage you to go back and look at the conversation with your coach. How did she invite you? How long did it take to go back and forth, like till you finally decided to say yes? What did she say to you leading up to you? How did she follow up with you? What did she say, right? How did she explain the challenge pack? Those are really good signs, you guys. Those are really good insights into, one, how you like to be invited. Two, if you didn't like how you were invited, how you can change how you're invited, right? Speak in your own words, invite how you would like to be invited. But 3, like also to just learn how does she explained it, right? Because the challenge pack is the bread and butter, right? It is the best solution because it gets people tied in with everything that they need. Is it the only way to help people? No. Sometimes people already have Shakeout or have Beachbody on Demand, or they already have workouts that they do. They're not quite ready to do our programs yet, but they're interested in Shakeology, or they're interested in getting help with their nutrition. We have nutrition programs, right? We have Ultimate Portion Fix, we have 2B Mindset, both of which are options, right, to help get people started. And then they also will have the community to help hold them accountable. But we also, we do have other options for people to do. I've had people sign up with ultimate 3-day refresh before, all sorts of things. Okay, so don't get discouraged, right? And so, but just know, like, that is getting someone set up with a home direct order of Shakeology and or pre-post with workouts and or a nutrition program that will earn you 2 Success Club points. Okay, so Success Club is our monthly benchmark. It's how Beachbody measures you moving your business forward, growing your business, okay? AKA, if you hit Success Club, that means you've helped 3 people get started with some sort of solution with Shakeology or pre and post, okay? And it means that you are growing your business, okay? Helping at least 3 people means that you're at least getting your Shakeology paid for, your own product, means that you're earning a monthly commission, but it also means that you're consistently adding people to your network. So if you don't hit Success Club, then you technically are just a discount coach, okay? Because if you aren't hitting Success Club, then again, you're not moving your business forward, okay? So achieving Success Club every month, your first 3 months, is what I want you to aim for and beyond, obviously. But if you hit Success Club your first 3 months, so it doesn't matter, maybe you've been a discount coach for however long, maybe you've been a discount coach for like 3 years, but you decide this month that you want to start coaching, game on. You still can be a success starter, because if you earn your first Success Club point in this month in January, and you then go on to help 2 more people, boom, you've hit your first of 3 months for Success Starter, okay? That's how Beachbody does it. Earning it all year earns you what's called our Success Club trip. Side note, you don't technically have to be a coach in earning Success Club a full year in order to get invited to the Success Club trip. Plenty of our coaches that are actually going on our trip this year with us in our next trip's in March. Every March is when the trip occurs. Got invited, and they'd only been hitting Success Club like maybe less than 8 months out of the year, but they were hitting it consistently. So that's key, right? Consistency is key. All right, your invites. Like I said, we are not here to overthink. Keep it brief, keep it excited, and just end every invite you send, ask them, does that sound like something you'd be interested in? Either way, let me know. No worries, just wanted to check in, let me know either way, like however you want to word it, right? I always typically end all my invites with either way, no worries, just let me know if you'd like more info. Find their need before you fix it, aka have a conversation. If they message you back, don't just dive right into giving them the info of how to sign up. Ask them, like, awesome, like, just ask them more about themselves. Ask them a question back, right? To give you more info about maybe what they're going through. Are they in school? Are they a mom? Do they have kids? Have they done this before? Etc. Recognize and know that objections are part of the process, okay? This is part of why I told you go back and look at your conversation with your coach, because how many times did you say no, right? That's a really good gut check, honestly, to understand that when people say no, it doesn't mean no forever. I mean, it might be, they might just not be your people, right? But like 98% of the time, it's a not right now. Or they're saying no because they're afraid, right? They don't understand yet. They haven't been watching you long enough. They haven't built that trust long enough with you. Again, goes back to the importance of being consistent and sharing every day, right? Sharing on your story, sharing on your feed, because that's what builds that trust, right? If they see you come and then they see you go, like you don't show up for the next 3 days, then they're going to assume that you're one of those flaky Beachbody coaches, and they're going to assume that you aren't serious about what you do. They're not going to sign up with you. They're going to go sign up with the girl that showed up, every day since she said she was going to do this and didn't, flake off, right? So if you ever are in doubt, like I said, always ask for help, okay? So there's scripts in the file section of the team page. You can ask in your message pod, whatever, wherever you're at, there are scripts all over the place. But again, I think the best thing to do is, again, not overthink it and invite how you would want to be invited. My invites are super short and sweet, like, hey, so-and-so. I always use everyone's name. If I invited them before, I might say, hey, love, or something like that. But I always start with their name. I thank them typically for following along. If they're on my stories, I thank them if they liked my posts. I thank them for their support. And I ask them, like, I hope you had a great week, or I hope you're having a good day. I just wanted to check with you and see if you want any more info about my boot camp. Does that sound like something you'd be interested in? That's it. That's all I would ask, because I don't like long messages. If I get a long message, I'm immediately on guard. I'm immediately thinking that they are, trying to like sell me something, or they're being, they like, I don't know. Like I feel like if someone's on my page, it's so totally normal for me to message them back to thank them. And especially if I'm talking about coaching, or I'm talking about my boot camp, or something in regards to like my journey, then it's totally acceptable for me to ask them if they'd like more info about what I'm doing, right? But if it's something long, it's just immediately going to put people on guard, which is what unfortunately like is just the case right now. It's not us, it's just the fact that there is so much noise out there, and we have to break through the noise, right? The best way to break through the noise is to just be short, sweet, and real, okay? And then follow up forever. If these people continue to watch you, if they said no, or not right now, or they don't have the money, or whatever, obviously I want you to, ask them if there's any particular reason why, if they say no, but follow up, okay? So if they read your message and they don't respond, follow up in 2 days, follow up in a week, follow up in 2 weeks, right? If they say no, not right now, okay, set up a time that you will check back with them, whether it's 2 weeks, the end of the month, for next month. That's always how I leave off conversations. I never just let it be, right? I'm going to follow up with you until I get a response, or you block me, okay? Or you unfollow me. That is how I roll. Because again, I was someone that watched from the sidelines. I was someone that very rarely ever answered anyone back. I would read your message, but I wouldn't always answer you. So I get that. I get it. I get why people do that. I get that they are just scared. I get that they, maybe are afraid to invest in something. I definitely was. So I don't give up on those people, because if someone gave up on me, then they would have missed out on, who I've become now, right? So just don't ever stop following up. And don't be afraid of the costs, okay? You guys, what we have is such an amazing solution, right? It is such an amazing value. Nothing in the market is as cheap as Beachbody, right? Take the workouts alone, that is less than paying for Planet Fitness, okay? Anything else out there is not going to give them the total solution that we have with Beachbody. I can name off 15 million programs. The program I was doing before this using the Sweat app, it has, workouts, great, awesome. It has some recipes and stuff like that. But you guys, it doesn't have the community that we have. It doesn't have the one-on-one coaching that we have, right? Someone to actually directly go and ask questions to. It doesn't have, that continued variety that we have, okay? So don't ever be ashamed about the cost of a challenge group or a challenge pack. All right, we're almost to the end, I promise. Okay, so we talked about Success Club. If you're hitting Success Club, you're bringing on people, your first rank in your business is Emerald, okay? So going Emerald means that you literally took 2 of you, 1 on each side, and boom, you're Emerald. So you went out and you invited, say, your best friend, okay? You went out and invited your best friend or that random girl that's been following your posts, and you asked her if she wanted to join your group. She wants to join your group, right? She's interested. Share the information with her. You tell her what it comes with the challenge pack. You tell her what's involved with the boot camp. She's like, okay, I'm in. I want to do this. And you're like, great. All right. So I need your email. I need to know what flavor Shakeology you want or your pre and post. And then third, I want to know if you want to sign up as a coach, a discount coach, or I just asked them, third, would you like to sign up as a discount coach? That's how I signed up, just to save 25% off on my product. So a lot of girls sign up, but no worries either way. You're not, you don't have to coach if you don't want. That's how I ask people, right? So I give them the option because literally that is why I joined, right? I signed up as a coach because my coach told me that if I signed up as a coach, I would be able to get 25% off on my continuing Shakeology, which at that point, as you know from my story, was a huge flipping deal to me. If I was going to continue with the product, then I wanted to make sure I got it at the cheapest price that I could. So if you get 2 people, so again, these people do not have to be working coaches. If you get 2 discount coaches to sign up underneath you, right? You have 1 on your left, you have 1 on your right. That makes you Emerald, okay? That is all Emerald is. That's it, right? They do not have to be actual working coaches. They just have to be discount coaches. That's it, you guys. That's all Emerald is. Like, you can do that in 24 hours. You could go out and boom, sign up your mom, sign up your, friend, your spouse, whoever. Like, boom, you're Emerald, okay? And not only that, if you sign up a spouse or you sign up a parent, you have a controllable business center, right? Something we need to talk about and you'll learn about later, but just keep that in mind. Like, that is totally an option. My mom was actually one of my first discount coaches to sign up. And then later, I ended up signing up my boyfriend. So then I had 2 controllable business centers on each leg. I had 1 on my left leg, 1 on my right leg. Highly valuable, okay? And then obviously from Emerald, Diamond is literally Emerald 4 times, okay? So if you can hit Emerald, you can easily hit Diamond, okay? It's just numbers and it's just you duplicating that Emerald process, okay? Oh my gosh, what's going on? All right. So I like to plug this in here just to show you guys the power of consistency, okay? So this literally is one of my first posts ever. I started in June of 2017. The very end of June, I signed up. I was already a discount coach, but I started like actually sharing my stuff. I declared I was going to be a Beachbody coach, okay? My first couple posts, you guys, got like 8 likes. 8 likes, okay? You look at this post, I'm doing this stupid smile, right? And like, I literally think all I did was said, I just did insanity, blah, blah, blah. Like, I was very, very screamy Beachbody, right? I was salesy. Over here, about, a year later, year and a half later, I had 92 people like my posts, right? I have a filter. It's eye-catching. It's a transformation photo. I shared a story about my ego, about basically the issues I used to battle with, right? With my body image. how I used to hate how I looked, right? I told a story and I did a comparison of like how I used to feel to how I feel now, right? And that was eye-catching, it was personalized, and it got way more engagement, right? This is the power of consistency in learning and failing forward and progress over time, okay? I didn't start that way. My first draft, you guys, was terrible, but it got me to where I am now, right? Everything I did, good or bad, on the way here is what's helped me become the coach that I am today. And that's how you have to look at this, right? We all, think of it like college, right? You have to study, you have to try, you have to do homework, stuff like that, right? You have to be willing to progress. All right. And just dream a little bit. Like, what could you do with an extra $800? If you hit Success Club for 3 months, you would earn $800 in commission, right? This is what I'm saying, okay? You help someone sign up with a challenge pack. From that challenge pack, you'd get about $50 in commission. Times that by 3, so 3 people a month, you get about $150 in commission. And I know in the beginning it doesn't seem like much, right? But then the next month, you help another 3 people and they sign up with a challenge pack, right? Get another $150 commission. But now, if those people love Shakeology and they're continuing Shakeology and they're staying in your boot camps and all that stuff, then they're going to order Shakeology again, right? When they order Shakeology again, you're going to get, again, $32 in, home direct commission from those Shakeology orders in addition to your $150. So that's $250, you guys. And that's only if you hit the bare minimum of 3 people a month, right? What if you helped 5 people? Okay. So dream big. And then third month, same thing. Add on that new commission, $150 plus all the HD orders that are going to cycle through. So 6 HD orders, $192. That's $396 by your third month. That's about $800, you guys. So literally, like, just think about what you could possibly do and how this could build and escalate. Obviously, people quit. Obviously, people fall off. Obviously, people, not everyone's going to continue Shakeology every month. So this is different for everyone. But, like, this is what's possible, okay? And so much more. Insert income disclaimer, but for real, if you are willing to be consistent, if you're helping at least 3 people a month, come on. There's no way you're not going to build a successful business, okay? All right, so now what? I want you to go out and invite, okay? I want you to go out and I want you to invite everyone, right? If you've already had your coming out post, invite all those people. If you haven't done your coming out post, go invite everyone you know on your Facebook, Instagram, if it exists yet, everything. I want you to invite your friends and family, like, rip the Band-Aid. You guys, it was the scariest thing ever when I first invited my friends, right? So judgy. I don't know, like, I was so afraid of what they would think, but guys, once I did it, it gave me all the power. I realized, oh my God, if I could invite them, I can invite anyone, right? The people I was scared the most to invite, if I could do that, then I can do anything, right? So commit to the long game. Commit to being here in a year. Commit to learning and growing and failing forward, right? Focus on your journey. Know that in the end, the worst case scenario of all this is that you just focus on yourself and you end up getting, you become your happiest, healthiest self, okay? You make some friends, you build a community, you find a lifelong solution. Like, that's the worst case scenario. Actually, not just the worst case scenario. You end up hating it, you don't get results, but you get your money back, all that jazz. Like, that could be the worst case scenario. But honestly, the worst case scenario is that you lose some weight, get healthier, and you change your life, okay? Best case scenario is you change your life, you get healthier, you get in shape, and you help people along the way and build a successful business, okay? So great books I like to recommend are The Slight Edge and Mastering Your Mean Girl. Those were super helpful to me in the beginning. The Slight Edge will really help you get in the mindset of that long game. Mastering Your Mean Girl will help you deal with that ego inside you telling you that you can't, and begin sharing your journey. Share. Like I said, consistency with sharing is key. and as you work through those new coach units. You don't need to know everything, you guys. The worst mistake you can make is thinking that you need to know everything before you begin. Wrong. You don't need to know anything before you begin. You just need to start and you need to begin. And then be coachable. Okay? Do what I tell you to do. What did I tell you to do on this video? If you need to, go back and listen to it again. Do what I'm telling you to do. Okay? Trust in me. Trust that I did this myself. Trust in that I'm telling you what you need to do to be successful. Go out there and take it one step at a time, one conversation at a time, one day at a time, one goal at a time. Okay? All right, guys, I'm so excited. I can't believe it. I'm so excited that you're here, and let's do this.